really reduce people's SNAP benefits here in Massachusetts. It would reduce how many people were eligible, but also the folks that were eligible, how much they were receiving. So that was a big piece of why we wanted to do this, was to bring attention to the fact that we used to work on trying to improve the SNAP program to try to get more food and more money for folks that were on SNAP, and to try to make it easier for folks that really needed it to access the program. But now we're having to play defense on just protecting to keep the program what it is now. So we know it's not enough, but right now we're trying to tell the federal government that it already wasn't enough. So please don't cut it more.
And I know that this is an issue that Congressman McGovern
is very passionate about.
His passion for a long time of just, he makes a joke, and it came to realization when I was like $4.56, like I spend more on that on a Starbucks coffee.
Right.
Like I legitimately do.
Right.
And how hard that was to wrap my head around, that like it's something that I just like in the course of my day. It's not a meal. It's like an extra, a splurgy thing that I shouldn't be spending $6 on. But that folks are trying to figure out how to live on $4.56 a day is crazy to me. In a country as wealthy as the United States, and a state as wealthy as Massachusetts.
Exactly. We know the vast majority of people that are on SNAP are our elderly population, folks living with disabilities, and then children. That's 3/4 of the SNAP population. Those aren't people who we can expect to work at all.
And the vast majority of non-disabled adults are working.
They are working. They already are working, and they don't make enough money to get by, and they still qualify for SNAP. And even we're working on trying to raise the minimum wage in Massachusetts. Even if we raise it to 15, people will still qualify for SNAP. That's the reality, that even 15, even though that's where we want to get right now, we know that's still not enough for a lot of people, and especially families.
Liz, can you get me, is there a chart for who qualifies, like what the monthly income is?
Yeah,
or
I can get you
income?
that. It's complicated, but there's some straightforward pieces.
I have some folks say, like, you on my social media, you should try living on like minimum wage and feed yourselves, and I was like, you probably qualify for SNAP.
Right now, if
for
you're on minimum
sure,
wage, you definitely
for
qualify
sure.
for SNAP.
And
Maybe if you're not a single adult with no dependents, you might not. It probably depends.
Yeah, and so this is the thing. You and I have talked a lot about, kind of the estimate of 5,000 folks that are qualify in Leominster for SNAP benefits who aren't accessing them, and we've been working through our senior coffee hours to really bring down stigma.
Right.
And we've had a couple seniors step up and like go and apply for SNAP and been like, I got benefits.
Yeah.
And now we're talking to all of their friends being like, just fill out the application, see, like,
Right.
even if you get the minimum of the $15 a month, it helps.
It does.
And then you qualify for the Healthy Incentives Program.
Right, and you can shop at farmers markets and get all that produce that's really expensive otherwise.
And it's been really important for us to just talk about, like, where is that stigma still? Why are folks still not accessing? Or is it just not knowing? Like, my parents, we struggled. We lived with my grandparents when we were kids, and my parents always tell this story of how hard it was for them, and they were so frustrated that they didn't qualify for any programming. And I was like, I think, like, knowing their income, and they were on one income raising 2 little kids, it's like they probably did qualify for assistance, but they didn't know how to access those programs. Yeah. And that's one of the major pieces of trying to find out any way that we can be there. Like, Taylor and I fill out SNAP applications for our seniors and help them and make sure that they get in and follow up on that, because we want to make it as easy as possible, because that money, like Nikki said, that money could go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
On TV, they made a comment this week that people that in order to get housing in Boston, I know it's different than here, you need to make $28 an hour. So even $15 an hour is not sufficient to get housing there. Now this is different. We're in Leominster, in Pittsburgh area, but still $11 an hour to get housing. And if you're spending everything on housing, then nothing for food.
We have constituents who are spending 50, 60, 70% of their income on their housing.
Exactly.
Right. And it is heartbreaking, and then they get the notice that their landlord's not gonna renew their lease, and they can't afford market rate housing, and we're in crisis mode immediately. And these are folks who don't seem homeless to everyone else. They have an apartment, like sometimes a long-term apartment, but the housing instability on top of the food
Yep,
insecurity
Right,
is
it's all
just
connected.
It is
It's
connected.
really all connected. And that's, I think, the message that we just want to drive home.
And you know, and off the record, I wanted to say that I want to thank you all for coming to see what we do here. And then, immigrant community, we don't turn people away.
Mhm.
People are living in fear these days that if they come into a community center, they're going to be reported. And we reassure the family that that's not going to happen. That we are here to serve them as well. So we don't go into those questions, and
Yeah.
everyone needs.
And Nettie, I'm so proud of the work that you guys are doing, that Ginny's is doing, because I see it.